What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this is Kriegs Korner. That's Corner 3K. I'm your host, Adam Krieger, and today I'm doing a little solo dolo action. First half is going to be just me talking a little bit of video games, a little bit of Call of Duty League, just whatever else pops into my head, to be honest. But I just want to say if you're listening to this on our website, vendettasportsmedia.com, buy a t shirt, support us. We need we need your support. We want to sell some t-shirts. We want to grow this site to the next level. And the first thing we do with that is merch is an easy way for you to get something in return. You get a nice shirt and we get some money. We get to improve some things on our end. The site is trying to go to the next level. Trey's pushing it as much as he can by himself. And I think we got to do a better job of doing that ourselves. Also, I want to sell my logo on some merch. To be 100% honest, I want to, but Trey said that's not possible until we start selling the shirts we already have. So buy a shirt. It's really important for the company and it's something that we need to get going because that's how sites get to the next level progressively. Anyway, make sure you guys do that. Now, we're in this weird like dead time of sports and there's really not much going on. I wrapped up the Super Bowl last week. It was Scott and things are just in that weird dead zone. I'm not an NBA guy, so I know there's NBA going on, but even still, it's like regular season mumbo jumbo. Nothing's really going on. It's the same teams are dominating. There's nothing really new going on. Um, Hockey's kind of the same way. I'm sure there is hockey stuff going on, but I'm not. I would say educated enough to talk about it. I watch one team only. They're actually playing right now, but the Hurricanes are my team. I have I don't know why I was a Ranger fan, but the Hurricanes are my team. I got one of my good friends on that team, and I support them and I support him. But it's a weird dead zone in sports right now. There's not much going on. Base pitchers and catchers come in 2 days, so that baseball's starting to ramp up. And if you check out the site, there's tons of great baseball preview and content that's going up almost every day. I'm writing some division previews. Milo's writing some division previews. Everyone's kind of chipping in because we're going to go full steam ahead when it comes to baseball season. At least I am because baseball is my number one. It always has been. It always will be. The grind of a baseball season is incredible. I mean, I watch damn near close to 140 Mets games a year out of 162, and the ones I'm not watching, I'm checking on Twitter every 2 seconds, see what the reporters are saying, see what's going on, checking the box score. So that's my thing. But without baseball season, without normal sports, I find a lot of my time I'm watching Twitch. So for those of you who don't know what Twitch is a live video game streaming platform. It's owned by Amazon and it's really easy for creators to just go up there, get live content going. Mostly it's video game stuff, but there's plenty of other content. People are doing podcasts, people do cooking streams, people do gambling streams. There's so much, even there's stock market stuff going on. There's a stock market channel that has almost 15,000 viewers at a time. But I, at least for the most part, stay in the video game era of the video game side of Twitch. So, what is that looking like nowadays? Well, this weekend was the Fortnite FNCS, which is the Fortnite Championship Series. It is their esport of Fortnite. So, the way it works is there's a bunch of rounds of qualifiers, and then the top X amount of teams go on to the next round. And then of that smaller pool, there's another X advance until there's right now it's trios. So the final 33 teams, the best 33 teams go in a private lobby. And then the top eight or whatever the number is, they qualify to move on to the next round. The reason why Fortnite has these gigantic prize pools and why so many people are playing is because they were responsible for what I call the video game boom in the last 6 years. Now, even though Fortnite isn't 5 or 6 years old, it's 4 years old, and it was the peak of Fortnite was something it's hard to describe for if you're not into video games. It's something that is kind of it can't be stated. Everyone was playing Fortnite. If Fortnite was a game that covers all age demographics. Like most of the Fortnite, I would say users and players are middle schoolers. I was a camp counselor and every kid was playing Fortnite. They had Fortnite mobile on their phone. They got home, they were playing Fortnite on their PlayStations, on their Xbox. It's a game that is multi-generational. So, how to get there? I think it got there because Fortnite is free to play. Therefore, unlike the traditional video games that were $60 mainly, but sometimes you see video games getting into the $30, $40 range, this game was free to play. You did not need to put a single cent into this game, and you could be the same level as everyone else. Now, that has to do with your work ethic and how good you are at a game, and all that stuff has nothing to do with it. Has, like everything else, has everything to do with it. But video games specifically were always pay to play or pay to win. So the game might have been free, but you needed to buy this token or this boost to get you to that next level. Fortnite didn't have any of that. It was incredible what was going on in that game. And it moved over into Twitch. And that was how I got my introduction to Twitch. Last, I would say, 2 years, it hasn't quite been the same for Fortnite. And there's so many different reasons. And I would say the primary cause of it is that it was viewed as such a young kid's game after a little bit. After maybe the first 2 years, it was the kids that were playing Fortnite were people thought they were middle schoolers, early high schoolers. They weren't really mature. They don't really learn how to interact with people. So the community and the Twitch community, it was riddled with toxicity, and these kids that were experiencing, talk behind, there's no name behind some commenters. And just like everything else with anonymity comes cowardice. People would never say some things without their name being there. So that was a big part of why I think the Fortnite viewership has fallen down and it hasn't become as popular. The next part of what I think killed Fortnite was this controller versus mouse and keyboard battle. Now, gaming computers have always been a thing. There are special computers, because Apple's and most of your everyday Windows computers cannot run these video games the way they're supposed to be run. There are mega computer companies, and some of them don't even make gaming computers. So it's like, Apple, for example, they make computers, phones, you name it, they make it. When it comes to computers, they don't make a game, a console, or a computer that could be capable of playing video games. It's just not something they do. I don't know why, but anyway, I digress. So there was two different player pools, I would say. There's your computer players, your PC players, and then your console players. Now, if you ever played any sort of video game shooter before, you know what I'm about to talk about. It's called aim assist. When you're aiming on using a small analog stick to aim, you need the help. So aim assist is something that helps you shoot players when they're moving. Sometimes it aims a little bit for you. It gives you like a little pull to get you in the right direction. Since Fortnite was so big on console, but they were also playing with PC players, the two worlds had merged, and that isn't something that PC players and mouse and keyboard players were used to dealing with. So what happened was a lot of, the big time content creators and the streamers, they would all just complain about aim assist. It's broken, it's broken, it's broken. To be honest, when you listen to someone complain over and over again, it becomes not entertaining. I don't want to hear someone cry for 6 out of their 8 hours about how the aim assist is broken and the game's not fun anymore. If it's not fun, don't play it. So I think the big content creators stepping down from Fortnite and going into various different games was a huge factor in the downfall of Fortnite. Now, I say downfall of Fortnite. Meanwhile, there's still always at least 100,000 people watching the game on Twitch. It's not what it used to be. It used to be close to 400,000 almost at all times. But when I say downfall, it's all relative. Obviously, Fortnite is still one of the most popular games in the world. Has a global um, reach, and it's literally played everywhere. So it's never going to be completely dead. But one of the main reasons between the aim assist and the content creators all complaining, combined with the Call of Duty Warzone coming out, really changed the game. So what Warzone is it's a battle royale. 150 players jump into the map called Verdansk, and they, last one standing wins, Hunger Games style, like any typical battle royale style. But battle royale players need something else to play, and they're always looking for the next game. They're always looking for the next game to pop, and that was just the most popular shooter franchise in the world, Call of Duty, stepping up and ringing, answering the bell for all those creators and all those video game fanatics. But they have their own issue. Call of Duty is one of the most successful shooter franchises in the world, if not the most. They make anywhere between millions and billions of dollars a year. Billions is probably a stretch, but they have not, they're not a broke company. Activision, they don't, Activision Infinity Ward, they're not broke. And the Call of Duty franchise, not broke. But the issue with that game right now, and the reason why I think it will die soon, is because there is no anti-cheat. People are just, cheaters are running wild, and there's no consequences. So typically, an anti-cheat is like a part of the game. It's something that reads your computer files and will delete anything that is known to break the games. So there's a lot of different types of cheating variations in Call of Duty Warzone, but the main two are wall hacking and, no, and it's just, you don't miss your shots. So wall hacking is you can see a player no matter where they are, if they're hiding, if they're looking at you, not looking at you, you see where they are at all times. You have a little red outline around them. You see them running. It makes you easily guess corners, see where they are. You have a huge, huge advantage over them. And then you have obviously the cheaters that just have no recoil, which means that their gun does not move when they're shooting you, so they can just shoot you at all times. And then there's the ones that just straight up lock on your head. Now, the ones that lock on your head, there's no chance you can survive that. It breaks the game for the casual fans and the fun fans like that. So I don't know what the reasoning is behind Warzone not having an anti-cheat. It doesn't make sense to me. Um, Call of Duty runs their own little esports. It's called the CDL, which is the Call of Duty League, and that is focused around the game at the time. So I should have explained this a little bit better. But there's Call of Duty Warzone, and inside of Call of Duty Warzone is parts of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then the other half is Call of Duty Black Ops. So the current Black Ops title is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. That is, so that is the game that the COD franchise and the COD CDL League is focusing on. So I'm going to get into a little bit of that recap, just some quick little pointers, not pointers, just a little recap. And the big news going into this Call of Duty League was there were two teams that were getting back. So there's this guy named Hector. He goes by Hex, Hecz. He's a former owner of Optic Gaming, which is a Call of Duty professional team. And he was in a brief hiatus from the league. Now he's back. And then you have on the other side of it, Nadeshot, who is the founder of 100 Thieves, which is a esports clan, team, league, whatever, an organization. And they also got a Call of Duty team. So they're called the LA Thieves. Now, in the preseason, they were played a few weeks ago, and Optic beat them 3-0. Series are best of 5. Optic shut them out. I thought LA Thieves, the new team that run by Nadeshot, who was a former Call of Duty pro, Call of Duty world champion, I thought they were going to be able to compete, and they did not. They really shit the bed. There was nothing there from them, and they have a few good players, but I didn't think that they were going to be contenders in this league. I was wrong. This week they won 2-0. They beat the New York Subliners 3-0. They shut them out. And they also beat Minnesota Roker, who is another top tier Call of Duty league. On the other side, talking about Optic, Optic had a little rough match Sunday night. They lost in 2 search and destroys, which is supposed to be their best map, their best game mode, because they're led by Scump. Scump is the best Call of Duty player, hands down. He is a Call of Duty multiple-time world champion, teammates with Nate Shaw back in the day, and he's a search and destroy god. But they just did not have it this year and this week, and they lost 3-2 to Atlanta FaZe. That was shocking to see Optic and Scump lose 2 search and destroy matches in one series. Was incredible, and they lost 3-2, so they finished the weekend 1-1. So that'll do it for this little solo segment. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's something I hope I don't have to do as often, but if you guys like it, something I will definitely keep doing. Enjoy. I got a nice little episode with Shawnee Deggs coming up next, so enjoy the show.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. In case you hadn't heard, your favorite Renegade Sports Media Group has its own Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media to support our efforts to continuously bring you sports, gaming, and other media coverage as only we can. We've got 4 different membership tiers. For $3 a month, we'll give you a simple thank you on our Patreon site. For $6 a month, you get a thank you and you get to become a recruit in Jackson Law's Vendetta University Gaming Series. For $10 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, a special thank you at the end of our videos, free access to our upcoming Discord chat, and a free koozie after 4 months. And then the big dog, $50 a month, gets you everything from the previous tiers, as well as opportunities for Fantasy League invites, stream gaming, possible invites to mock NFL and NBA draft sessions, a once-a-month Google Hangout, and after 4 months, a free t-shirt. Yeah! Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media and help us to improve our pledge to bring you the best sports, gaming, and other media coverage.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kriegs Korner. Today, I'd like to welcome on a very special guest, Sean. Sean, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
So, Sean's another, I would consider a mentor of mine. We're from the same school district, but he's a few years older than me. He was a wrestler, football player, and someone who I always thought gave back to the community, and that was something that I thought was really special back in the day. And as I get older, I see how easy it is to go away from your community. But Sean, to me, is still kind of wrapped up in the mix. But before we get into like what you're doing now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what got you to where you are right now?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you said, I'm from Irvington, grew up a 3-sport athlete. I wound up going to Springfield College, played 4 years of college football there. So that place was a pretty pivotal place in my life and time, those 4 years. Went through a lot of crazy stuff there, and a lot of growing up, I think. Made, a ton of mistakes throughout those years and kind of had to grow up pretty fast during that time. From there, came out of college and I wound up working for a family friend that the DeRigo brothers, which I currently do now. So I manage daytime operations for them. It's a wholesale produce distribution company. So we do like distribution deliveries to all chain supermarkets throughout like the tri-state. So I got that going on. And then I used to work overnights. And then once I got my hours changed, I started going to work at 5 a.m. So I'm done usually with work by like 2 or 3 p.m. So it kind of left the afternoon kind of open for me. I would work out for an hour and I would have the rest of the afternoon to where it was like, maybe I need to fill this time up a little bit. So when I was living in the Bronx, the apartment, you came by a couple of times.
Yep.
That's where the idea and the birth of All-in-One Solutions came about. So me and a buddy from college started that. It's a commercial cleaning company. That was in 2017. It was kind of a slow build to where it's at now.
Right.
So, we do office cleaning accounts. We have restaurants and stuff like that. And now, obviously, with coronavirus, we do COVID cleaning now, which kind of opened up a new revenue stream for us. So I got that going on, and then I got my food cooking Instagram blog type thing, whatever you want to call it, Dining with Degs. So putting out weekly recipes on there, and that's it, man. Staying on course.
Yeah, I mean, I would say going off a quick your schedule recap, that is busy, I would say would be an understatement. But so what do you think, how do you think sports has helped you become such an efficient person and get so much done? Like what are some like specific things you took out of your time playing football? And obviously football at the next level is a different breed. Even if it's, college football versus obviously high school football is a gigantic leap, and just like the discipline. Tell me some things about from your athletic past that helped you going forward.
Yeah, so I mean, I think growing up, I was always kind of a crazy dude. I was always getting in trouble. I was getting freaking fist fights and all that crap. And sports kind of like leveled me out, and it kind of, put me into check sometimes when I needed it. I would get into trouble throughout high school, and my mom would pull me out of games sometimes, and it was like the most embarrassing stuff I've ever gone through. Like your mother pulling you out of a game for doing some crazy stuff on the weekends. And but that stuff, it was necessary for me to go through, because it was like, I always tell people, I kind of drag myself through the mud. I always take the hard route. I can never like just make the easy decision, which it's starting to change for me, thankfully, throughout all these years of making poor decisions. But sports always kind of redirected me back and kept me disciplined in what I'm doing. So especially going into college, being a full-time student, full-time athlete, I was bartending 2 nights a week, bouncing as well, at a couple bars in Springfield. So there was a lot going on with that. And I learned in college probably the best of how to manage my time and be, as efficient as I can with everything that I have going on. So I think just the whole discipline aspect and, juggling a lot of things at once really came from sports.
Yeah, so you talk about the juggling a lot of things at once, and clearly, I mean, you got a full-time job in the morning, and then you have two. I mean, I would describe them as full companies or full endeavors you're diving into. So, walk me through like a quick day. You said you start work at 5, then what's after that? You clock out around 2 or 3. What's after that for you?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give you a full day, like from the time I wake up. I mean, I'm up at like 4 in the morning. I get up, I take a hot shower. The last 2 minutes, I go ice cold, and it kind of just shocks the body, wakes the system up, gets me uncomfortable, out the gates. And there's a lot of health benefits from it. Doing that, if you look into it, I highly recommend it. So I do that. I do like a quick little breathing exercise, 5 minute thing. I bang out a couple push-ups and squats and stuff, all in my room right before I get ready for work. I start a podcast, start that up, cook a full breakfast. I'm on the road by 4:30, heading into the Bronx. So then I work until 2 or 3 p.m. After that, I do about an hour of, some kind of workout, whether it be weights or cardio, whatever. I'm training for a half Ironman right now. That's in the summer. So a lot of cardio going on right now in my life.
Yeah.
But so I do that, and then I'll jump into like a couple hours of AI1. And, for the most part, I'm doing a lot of accounting, a lot of invoicing, following up with customers and stuff like that. I have a business partner. He kind of runs more so of the operational side. Obviously, having a full-time job, I can't really do that.
Right.
So I do that, and then I'll cook. I'll cook a dinner, and once a week I put out a new recipe on Dining with Degs, and just trying to kind of create content with that and build that up. And hopefully by the halfway point of 2021, I'm going to get an online cookbook out with that. So do that, and then I always I meditate every day. I pray every morning. There's a lot of different stuff that I try to tune into. I read 10 pages a day. I try at least. Some days you get it done, some days you don't. But that's kind of the majority of an average day, I guess you could say.
So where did the cooking come from? Because I'm like you said, I've known you for I'd say a good amount of time, and I knew the athletic side, and you do always doing stuff with your hands and working like that. But when did you start cooking, and how when did you decide that that was going to be part of your next, I would say, career move?
Well, the love for cooking started when I was like 13 years old. I started working at Sam's restaurant in Dobbs. So I was, working an Italian restaurant over there in Dobbs Ferry, and I kind of just fell in love with cooking, being a young kid there, checking out everybody in the kitchen, and I was always obsessed with food as even a younger kid than that because my uncle owns. I'm sorry, he managed a couple steakhouses in New York City. So I always kind of romanticized and looked at that as like the ideal lifestyle, like owning a restaurant or kind of whatever, being involved in the operations of it. So throughout the years, as I got older, I continued to work in different restaurants. I started bartending and all that, and it just kind of grew on me where I kind of use cooking now as like an outlet for me. Like how working out is kind of like a stress reliever for a lot of
Right.
people. Cooking for me kind of does that to where it's like when I'm cooking and I'm in my zone, it's like I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm feeling good. I'm in like my flow state. So I think paying attention to how it made me feel is what that's where I really like fell in love with it. So for years after college, I was just posting out a lot of stuff on Instagram, all my cooking stuff throughout the week. And I would always get asked a ton of questions about cooking. How do I do this? How do I do that? Why don't you start a company? Why don't you, own a restaurant, start a deli, blah, blah, blah. And I finally just was like, I got to take the leap. Um, I think a lot of times in people's lives, I'm sure for you too, it's like you had an urge to start a podcast. You probably were thinking about it for a long time. It's like, all right,
Long time.
let me just dive into this and take the plunge. And I think a lot of people are scared to kind of start something because it's like, oh, it's got to be perfect. Everything's got to be lined up and perfect. You got to have your T's crossed and stuff. But I follow a lot of entrepreneurs and guys that own big businesses and stuff. And it's like every one of them say, just take imperfect action, just start, take action on something and get it going. So, when I started Dining with Dags, it's like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I'm a little over a year in now, and it's like it's growing. I'm getting a following, and so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I saw a little bit. I might be speaking out of turn here, but I did see a little bit of merch circulating through. A mutual friend of ours showed me the other day a nice little Dining with Degs hat. I saw the logo.
That's
I,
good.
I
That's good.
saw I saw it all coming out. But so what is what is the long term? If you, I'm not saying you have to pick one, but are you gonna try and pick like are you gonna so the cooking thing is gonna be its own separate endeavor. It's not gonna merge with AI one. Is that
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
that's okay?
Um, no, it's gonna stay separate. I guess my dream kind of goal in life is just kind of to create impact and influence others with the stuff that I love. Cooking being one of those things. AI one, it's a cleaning company, but I wouldn't say I love cleaning and this and that. Like I'm a very neat and clean person, but I think just the idea of managing and owning a business in general is what I really love. I love leadership and kind of building things and creating stuff. So I think the long term goal is just to create, more businesses, build them out bigger, and like I said, just create, more impact and influence others.
Yeah, so we were I mentioned a little bit earlier how looked up to you as like a mentor and how you always give back to the community. And one of my first true interactions, because we come from a small town, so when you were in high school and I was in middle school, so you know I was playing football, I was going to the football games, and you always heard the tackle, and you were a captain, but so after high school, you that leadership never went away. So one of my first like true interactions with you was my senior year, and you came back to I was going for a little postseason run the wrestling tournament, and you came back and you drilled with me, and that was
Yeah,
something
remember that.
I first of all I'll never forget, and I can never because it really brought me to the next level. At that point, I was kind of hitting my peak, but there was more to get to, and I just didn't know it yet. I need to be locked in. The
I think
next part of
I
that,
think you were comfortable in that time.
exactly, that was 100% the word, is comfortable. And I needed to lose. I'd won too much in a row, and I think everyone needs to be knocked down a peg. But the second part
Yeah.
of that was you came and you spoke to the team after, and you gave a motivational, I don't know, but I would call it a speech, but some people have weird. You gave some motivational talks that I thought was important for the team. So, are you still doing something like that? I know you talk to other football programs as well in the area, but
Yeah.
and when you do, what do you hit on?
So yeah, that whole kind of motivational speaking, teaching journey, I guess, however you want to call it, that started off, what was it, in end of 2017, or no, I'm sorry, it was football season of 2018. That's where that kind of took off more, I guess. Like you said, I always had like the leadership aspect that I was involved with and always kind of loved that, but I didn't really kind of make it like an official thing until I got invited back to speak to my college. So this was 2018 was a year where I went through a lot of adversity. There was a lot of close people in my life that died. I went through a breakup over a long-term relationship. It was, 7, 8 years on and off. A lot of stuff was accumulating at once, and life kind of just kicked me in the ass a little bit. I got knocked down a bunch, and when I got invited back to speak to my college, my coach was like, "Listen, this is a homecoming speech. This is a big game. This is a big opportunity for you to kind of inspire these kids to go out and do something great." So I took that opportunity to channel all of my adversity, all of the crazy crap that I've been through. And I was like, you know what, this is a chance for me to kind of tell my story, express how I got through all this stuff. And that kind of was the jump start of talking to other, football programs in Westchester. I've talked to a couple small businesses around the area. So that's been going on for 2, 3 years. And obviously with COVID, it's taken a little bit of a hit, but I'm doing more stuff like this with podcasts. And now I'm actually in the process of getting a personal development coaching certification. So that's something else that's kind of in the works for later on in 2021.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, huh?
There's a lot, dude.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to circle back on, and I should have mentioned it earlier, but you said something about making sure everything doesn't have to be perfect. And we were
Yeah.
talking about that pre-show, and you would ask me what the goal of like what my show was, and I didn't have a straight answer. And for the longest time, I thought I needed to have a straight answer to that question. So what was there like a specific moment where you're like, where did that change for you? Where'd you get that along the way? That it doesn't need to be perfect, and you just go and you live it, you learn on the path.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that like a lot of times in life, people will get fixated on the result, right? And it's like they're always thinking end goal, and this is, let's say let's say you're just getting out of college, and it's like you have a fixed number in your mind of a dollar amount you want to make. I want to make 100 grand a year. I want to make 200 grand a year, whatever, $1 million a year,
Right.
right? And you're so fixated on that number that you wind up neglecting what's right in front of your face. And I think even in like relationships, you could be with a girlfriend, and it's like, I want to get married to this girl, this and that, but you're forgetting to do the small things daily, that gets you to that point. And Inky Johnson talks a lot about what does he talk? He says, can you be committed to the process without being attached to the result? So committing yourself to the process, normally in anything in life, if you commit yourself to that process, it will probably get you to that result that you want if you keep it out of sight, out of mind. Commit to the things you're doing daily, the daily meditation, the daily whatever morning routine that you got going on. So I think for me that kind of shifted a couple of years ago when I started getting more involved with the whole personal development mindset stuff. I started going to different business conferences and leadership conferences, and you just hear all these super successful people talk about stop attaching yourself to the result. It's like just daily check in, clock in every day and put the work in, regardless of how it's going to end up. So being present in the moment and focusing on what you can, control the controllables.
So, you're such a busy guy and you have so much in your day. And there are obviously days, you're human where things don't go as planned and you need a day to yourself. How often do you take a day to kind of just catch your breath and figure it out? And what do you do when you're quote unquote being unproductive? As in, when I say unproductive, I mean you're not, filming, you're not actually doing the numbers for your books, or you're not actually working
Yeah.
at so what do you do to just kind of unwind, relax?
Well, I mean, today was actually like a perfect example of that, because like I was off from work today. It's President's Day. Had the day off, which is like never happens. So I slept in, which was like 9:30 or something. I slept till, but I was in bed for like whatever 8-9 hours, which is like a lot for me. Get up. I wound up hitting the gym, and it's like I like I like working out, and I do like cooking. Like I said, maybe I'm not like I was cooking all day today, but I wasn't filming stuff. So I think kind of having my alone time. I read a lot. I was reading today. I did a quick meditation. I journal daily. I try to write in my journal every day. Kind of just get whatever's on my mind out on the pen and paper. So a lot of that self-care stuff, which I think when I'm really busy, I neglect some of it, whether it be a workout or reading or whatever. It's like on my days off, I like to kind of hit all that stuff. But there's days too where it's like I could just chill on the couch and watch a movie and just take it easy. I like doing that as well. So
It's crazy because when you have so much going on, your days are so regimented. Like, how many hours of sleep you get a day? Not on like a day off, on a normal day.
depends. So I just got this thing. It's called the Whoop. It's like a Fitbit kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's really good. It tracks like your sleep, your workouts, and everything, your heart rate. And ever since I got that, I think I've been sleeping a little bit more. But I mean, during the week, honestly, I would say 5.5, 6 hours. 5.5 is probably like my normal, but I push for 7. I want 7 hours of sleep. 8 hours is too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got their own little thing, and you said the meditating has helped you a lot, and that's
Mhm.
something I feel like I'm doing so much now, and with back to school, and now I'm starting the podcast and internships, and there's so much going on, but I do feel like I need to find 10-15 minutes to myself every day, and I think meditation is something would be a good answer to that. So
Yeah,
you were
I
talking
highly
about
recommend it.
the cookbooks coming out, hopefully and the midpoint of this year. But for now,
Yeah.
you're posting your videos. I see them on Instagram. Where else do they go? And what social has been the best for your growth and things? What social media wise, what are you looking to do? You do TikToks?
So I have TikTok for Dine with Degs. I create a lot of the videos on there. I have a couple other apps, but honestly, predominantly Instagram. I've tried to cut back on my social media like intake, because I think a lot of the times, even when you are being productive on there, you find yourself just scrolling and just kind of going through the BS. So like, I had Snapchat for ever since it came out. I deleted that like 6 months ago, maybe, just because like I don't need it. It's like it's taking me away from the stuff that I need to be doing. But I would say Instagram predominantly. I do a lot of promotional ads with Dine with Degs, kind of messing with that to I don't know, experience how to go about marketing a little bit better on social media. We do it for AI1 as well.
Has the promotion, like the paid promotion through Instagram, has it helped? Do you think? Like, I'm not
Yeah, a
sure about
lot.
that. So how does that process work?
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, and honestly, like I'm doing these ads and stuff to create more exposure. It's like the guy Grant Cardone's entrepreneur. He says if people don't know you, they can't flow you, meaning like cash flow. They can't flow your pockets if they don't know you. So the idea is to get more exposure, more reach to more people, and the more people that know you, the more people you can influence and impact with whatever your passions are, whatever your endeavors are. So the paid advertisements on Instagram with the Dining with Degs, the AI1 stuff, it's been good. There's a lot of reach that you can get. You could target audiences, locations, all that stuff. So
It's crazy. You got so much going on. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, your socials, and what your websites, all that stuff.
yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Sean.Degnan. I post a lot of motivational stuff, leadership, a lot of the speaking stuff on there. On the cooking stuff, Dining with Degs, no spaces, nothing. Dining with Degs, two Z's at the end. And then for all-in-one solutions, we are at AI1 Solutions, or www.ai1solutions.com. We give out free cleaning estimates, COVID cleaning, all that stuff.
So all that stuff will be down in the blog below this video, and it'll be linked on the YouTube comments as well. Sean, I really appreciate you coming on. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you got on your minds?
No, I'm good, man. I want to shout you out. Good stuff. I'm applauding you, acknowledge you for getting into it and taking imperfect action on something you're passionate about. So good stuff. Hats off to you.
I like that imperfect action. I'm gonna start running with that. All right, that'll
I
do
like
it
it,
for
bro.
this episode with Sean. Thanks, Sean, for coming on. See you guys next
Appreciate
time.
it, bro.